Hi everyone. I don't really know what message is going to come today. All I know is that the universe wanted me to do a video. So it's been a little while. I haven't done a collective reading or a collective card reading. The end of the year has been, busy and intense, as I'm sure it has for a lot of you. Christmas Eve, really exciting time. Really hard time for some of us, really triggering time. And hey, it wouldn't be Christmas without a mental breakdown, so bring it on. And just come back to love. So let's see what happens. I have my card decks. I'm here in Sydney, my hometown, and I have been showered with love since I got here, especially from my little sister Han. Love you. Okay, so and I'm not prepared at all for this. I don't know what's gonna come, but I'm excited. You know, when I landed in Sydney, someone was wearing a t-shirt that said vague but exciting, and I thought, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I don't really know what's gonna happen. So I think I want to work with my Rebecca Campbell cards, Lightworker cards. So I'm gonna do let's do a 4-card reading. We'll do an overall card. We'll do a past and a present and a future card, and just see how the energies are going today. So let's just get the cards ready. And just before we start, as much as I don't know what's going to come, I would still like to set the intention that whatever comes through today for us, if it is a message for you, that it would bring you only more harmony, health, and happiness. And that the messages that come through from my guides and my Council of 12, which I've recently been connecting with, would be only of divine, unconditional love, and that it would be free of any fear, any ego, any low vibrational energies. I have been doing a lot of letting go of, it's funny actually, the last few weeks at work, we had a team day where we worked a lot with our own personal story and what that is, and connecting it to our purpose. And it was quite a confronting process for a lot of us. And part of that workshop, which I was really lucky to be a part of, was working with vulnerability and understanding vulnerability, understanding our current responses to vulnerability. And, I always say that there is so much strength in vulnerability, and it's taken me a while to really believe that and feel that and live that, because I am an extremely sensitive person. I feel as an empath or an intuitive channel, I feel the energy of a place, of a group of people, of myself, and I have a lot of trouble distinguishing what is mine and what is not mine. And as a healer, that's something that a lot of us need to learn how to use that gift and thrive with that gift, rather than be completely consumed by it, which, if I'm honest, is something that has happened to me, and I'm still working on it. But I know, as I step more and more into who I am and what my mission on the earth is as a healer, that I need strategies to do that. And where I was going with this was strength in vulnerability. Growing up, I always felt, for whatever reason, that my vulnerability, my sensitivity was something that was to be ashamed of, something to hide from. And I think I still hold some kind of feeling about that, and I still judge myself for crying or being vulnerable or being triggered or reacting. And I think, God, when am I going to get to that point where I am okay and I can just be, you know, like a robot and be like a soldier and just be okay? And what I'm realizing is that, like, maybe that is not going to happen, and maybe that is okay. And the more vulnerable I am with my friends and my family and my loved ones, the more I drop my mask and the more I stop pretending I'm okay. If I'm not, the more I feel like my colleagues or my loved ones have the strength or the inspiration to also do that. Maybe not in that moment. Maybe in that moment it's too much. But, you know, I think whenever that moment is where they feel comfortable to be vulnerable, I hope that my vulnerability has shown them strength and inspiration. So I think the message is that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to be triggered. You know, I'm getting triggered right now. Don't judge myself. So come back to not everyone is going to understand you. Not everyone is going to accept your path or feel comfortable with your vulnerability. But that is no reason to shy away from it. So anyway, back to our card reading. So I don't know where that went. Sometimes that just happens. All right, so my beautiful Lightworker cards by Rebecca Campbell. I love her book, Light is the New Black. If you feel like you have a purpose or a mission, you want to step more into who you are, Light is the New Black. You can buy it everywhere. She's an Australian author from the Northern Beaches of Sydney. And, you know, that book changed my life. So these are her beautiful Lightworker cards. So we're ready. The overall card for our reading. Oh, this came up before. Okay, this is the Pleiades. So this is about your soul mission. This is about knowing that you don't fit in here to the earth, but that you're not supposed to, because the Pleiadian souls, or souls that come through from other galaxies or constellations, and yes, I know this sounds crazy, and when this concept was first introduced to me a couple of years ago, I mean, if the concept of me sitting here reading your cards on YouTube would have been introduced to me a couple of years ago, you know, I would have been like, you are insane. But yet, here we are. The Pleiadians are a group of souls that are light workers, and they are very charismatic. I know a lot of Pleiadians, including my big sister Val. Hi Val, I love you. They are incredible souls. They are, you know, regal, beautiful, powerful souls. And as they wake up and they remember who they are, they start to understand why they always felt like they didn't belong here, the way things were. And if you're feeling like that, as you go back into your family, to where you grew up, to, you know, where you went to school, reconnecting, that can trigger a lot of memories of, I don't feel like I fit in, and I'm not like who my upbringing told me I should be, or who I told myself I should be. So the overall card here is about the role of these souls, these Lightworker souls. They come with a mission. They come in love. They come in peace. They come to help us expand our perception of the way things are in this physical reality, and to bring a new way of thinking, feeling, being, and most importantly, loving. They bring a new way of loving. They bring, if you want, a higher love. Bring me a higher love. They bring it. And, you know, we are so grateful for that. And so whoever this is for, I think that the message is that whatever you're going through now, whatever pain you're going through, whatever triggering, whatever journey you're on in finding out who you are and stepping into your soul mission, that, you know, your soul family are with you. They may not be physically with you, but they are energetically with you, and they are so proud, and they know that you are really stepping further into yourself and into your mission on the earth. So if you feel like you're a bit different, you don't fit in, you need to remember why you came. You came here to bring the higher love. And that starts with bringing the higher love from within for you. And as within, so without, you can start to bring, as you bring more and more love to yourself, you were never meant to fit in here. You were never meant to accept things as they were. You were never meant to lead an ordinary life. You came here for a higher love, and that is the overall message for the card. So going forward now, we have Christmas tomorrow, New Year, 2020. I want you to remember who you are. I want you to remember this love, and I want you to remember exactly why you came here. And you came here to love, and to bring love, and to feel incredible love. And that starts with, this part of that love is a process of releasing your guilt and your shame and your fear that, is that story that you're not enough. And that's actually not my line. That's a line that I got from a podcast that I listened to recently, The Imperfects. And Ryan Sheldon was talking about shame is that story you tell yourself about yourself that's not true. And it was born out of some trauma where, you were rejected, or you were heartbroken, or you were not enough, at school or at uni, and some weird man-made framework of measuring how enough you are. And really, when the universe is looking down on all of us, every single soul is perfect, and every single soul is enough. So I encourage you to explore those bits of you those vulnerable bits of you that you're resisting, because those are keys to unlock more connection with yourself and more love with yourself, and more connection and love with your friends, family, and loved ones. So if there's anything you took out of that big spiel, it is just to love. So that's our overall card. So the next card is the past as it pertains to the future. Okay, we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. And I love the artwork on these cards. They're just stunning. Probably didn't give you a close-up of the Pleiades either. Pillar of Light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So this card shows an amazing being of, a soul, surrounded by light that comes down from his or her higher self, and then bringing this light down into the earth. And this is very symbolic of your past as an incredible light worker. So this is about how you may have had many lifetimes where you have come and volunteered to earth as a worker and a bringer of this higher love and this higher light. You've been, in essence, practicing and training for this project or exchange of souls, if you like. And you're here now, and your guides are almost working through you. They're wanting you to just open up to this love and this light. And the more you remember who you are, this amazing soul, this powerful soul, the more you remember that, and the more you open up to love by letting go of all these lower vibrational energies that you've accumulated over lifetimes and experiences that you've been here doing work and shifting earth out of fear and back into this higher love, in essence bringing heaven to earth through your presence. Your guides are asking you to understand that the more work you do, your power and your vibration is rising, and the power of your words and the power of your presence in a workplace, in a family unit, in a group of friends, in a subway, in a train, on a tram if you're in Melbourne. Your vibration is powerful, and people, you know, you might notice people stop and look at you and you're like, why are they looking at me? I don't look particularly great today, or whatever. Why are you checking me out? They're feeling your vibration and your energy, and they're sensing your presence, the presence of love, of this higher love. So just be aware of that, and also be aware that you don't need to hide or because as your vibration rises, it's like a moth to a flame. You know, people are going to be attracted to you, and I would just encourage you to keep shining, keeping the lighthouse, but just know it's not your role to, you know, save people or give your energy away, but that by you bringing this light, by being connected and being fully aligned to that higher self and bringing through that light, you are inspiring them to do the same, and they won't necessarily do it on the same timeline as you. Okay, so that's about acceptance. You know, when I first had this this knowledge come to me, and card reading and healing, and I started to learn so much about how I could transform my inner self and create more happiness for myself in my life and create a life of alignment. You know, as a light worker, all I want to do is go, oh my God, everyone, listen to this. You should do this and this and this, and you should apply this formula. You should apply my formula to your life, and then you'll be happy. But what I realized was there is no formula. So every single light that comes through and every single soul that comes through, there is no formula. So I can tell you my story, and I can give you some advice, but really important as the light worker, as much as you want to go out and shout from the rooftops and say, guys, this is the way, you know, you can heal this way, or you could do this, or you could try this. Your vibration is rising, and, you know, not that I'm speaking from experience here, but, you know, you're going to be a bit much for people. So just stand there and shine, stay in your lane. Those who want your advice will come to you. They will be drawn to you. Just be careful that you're not projecting your formula or your journey into someone else's, because each individual journey is unique, and it's important to honor where everyone is at. And I'm only saying this from my experience, because I've been that person, that annoying person that's like, hey, you know, everybody card reading, but like, my message is not for everyone. My message doesn't resonate with everyone. And my love for myself, you know, that used to trigger a lot of fear and shame and that people-pleasing aspect of myself. But whether or not my message resonates with anyone should not stop me from giving my message, because there might be one person out there who I hit the nail on the head for, and therefore that one message helps that person on that day. So it's really important to honor where you're at, and to also honor where every other soul is at, and realize that it's all perfect. So keep going as you, the light worker. Keep bringing the light. Keep expressing your true essence without fear, guilt, or shame. Let those energies fall away, and allow more of that light to infuse you and everything that you do, so that you may continue to shine and inspire others to rise, whether consciously or subconsciously. It doesn't matter, because let's face it, you're over here having a great time. Okay, so that was our past, and now I'm going to pull the present card. Oh, Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? It's a journey. So for some of us, maybe we're going on a holiday. For some of us, maybe we're going to get married, Nikki and Maddie. Where are we going? Where are you being called to journey to? So remembering the powerful soul that you are, bringing through the amazing light from the universe, that unconditional love, releasing that fear, is leading you on an incredible journey. So for some of us, that may be a physical journey. For some of us, that may be like an inner journey. But either way, it's a sacred journey. So I think this is a really exciting card to get, because I think for a lot of us, 2020 is going to be an amazing journey. Because the more that we step into ourselves, the more we get to journey to sacred places. And nothing more on that one. I think it needs to unfold, the journey. But I think the fact that your vibration has risen so much over the past year, the past week, the past lifetime, I think it's safe to say that whatever comes next is going to be beautiful. And the future card is the ever unfolding rose. And I know exactly what this is about, because my sister and I were speaking a lot about this today. You know, this says cracked open. It's happening for you and not to you. So I think because I always felt so ashamed of my vulnerability and my emotions, I thought, when I discovered healing, I thought, you know, I'm just going to move through my wounds and I'm going to heal myself, and then I won't be triggered anymore, and I won't be sad, and I won't be vulnerable. Well, that was wrong. So I think we talked about it today. Is there ever going to be a point where you don't get triggered by someone or something? Is there ever going to be a point where you don't feel pain? Well, no, there's not. And I kept getting this message to watch this Brené Brown TED Talk on the power of vulnerability, which I think she did over 8 years ago. It came up in that course I was talking about. And I think I'm meant to go out there and say to you all, go and watch it, because it's really amazing. Because she talks about that if we try and numb out through alcohol, food, or even through something good like yoga or healing, which I'm guilty of, if we try and numb out our emotions by healing the shit out of them, or, sorry for swearing, I know my guides don't like it when I swear, healing the out of you. If you go and you keep numbing those lower emotions, fear, guilt, shame, disappointment, regret, this is what Brené Brown talks about, then you don't get to choose. You actually numb out all of those higher emotions. So, and if the earth, you know, I think Brian Weiss, who wrote the book Many Lives, Many Masters, which is another book I really recommend that is very special to me and sparked a whole lot of my journey. You know, he talks about the earth as a school with kindergarten to year 12, university, PhD. If we're just here to go through a series of learnings and lessons, like, if we stop learning and we stop having opportunities for growth, and we don't have triggers and opportunities to up level and move out of fear and into love, well, then what are we doing here? So this is the card that's just saying 2020 is the year you're going to bloom to this beautiful, beautiful flower. And it's important to remember that going forward, whatever we feel is happening and whatever we label it as good or bad, we just need to remember that it's happening for us. Because I talk about the process of emotional alchemy and how that opportunity for learning and growth is an opportunity to transform wounds and darkness or murky earth. And sometimes it feels like you're being squeezed so tight and you're like, how can I possibly take this anymore? But the universe and your guides are like, yeah, get that fear out of you. And it's without those triggers, without that darkness, you can't purge it. You know, you just stay stuck in it. So whenever someone comes into your life and they trigger you, and they whenever something happens, you might like resist it at first and you might run. But what the rose asks you to do, and this rose is like the essence of the divine feminine, what the feminine asks you to do, she is all about acceptance and surrender and, you know, allowing. So this is about allowing that journey, that sacred journey, to unfold, and to trust that it's allowing you the chance to go through that earthly learning experience that your soul signed up for. Because that, my friend, is how you have managed to raise your vibration to date. And you will continue to rise. And you will continue to love. And you will continue to complete your mission of bringing through the higher love. And so I love that we finished on the rose. The future's looking pretty rosy, my friends, is what I have to say. But it's important that you choose to surrender and to allow the unfolding of your life. And in that surrender is, I think, where a lot of us are going to find that peace that we look for. So I feel like I want to pull 2 more cards. I don't know why. And then I might pull more. So let's see. Let's ask for more clarity. Let's ask for some more cards around the future, please. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yep, heaven on earth. Because I started to feel like, oh my God, the rose, like, am I giving people a message of like, it's going to be a hard year? Because like, that's really not what I'm feeling. And so I think that they just wanted to send heaven on earth, because that's what the Palladians came to do. That's what the soul, the light workers came to bring, this higher love. And this is why you went through all these experiences, because you wanted to bring this. So this is my favorite card, because we are releasing fear. We are going on an amazing journey. And, it's been quite challenging for a lot of us. And finally we start to see heaven on earth manifesting. It's happening. It is happening. All right. And I want one more to finish. Awakening. So this is a beautiful one. A new way of being, energetic updates, integration. So the awakening can be quite scary. But what you need to remember is that letting go of the old ways and the old fear-based thinking and the old controlling and micromanaging and like wanting certainty. Brené Brown, again, she talked about that in her TED Talk, that we want to avoid these heavy emotions, so we want to create certainty. You could see the awakening is sort of like she's kind of hanging in midair. This could feel a little bit scary. So if you are at the moment waking up to a new way of being and waking up to who you are, I want you to know that you're not alone, and that actually you're waking up to something pretty beautiful, which is a higher love for yourself, which is Lemuria, heaven on earth. There's modern day Hawaii. So this could also be some of you are going on holiday to Hawaii, which, like me, please. So I know it can be a bit scary. You could feel like you're surrendering and you're letting go of control. But this is also about the essence of the rose and the divine feminine. So as humans, we are always thinking, and we are always trying to control. And if you look at nature and you look at flowers, for example, I think Eckhart Tolle talks about this. I'm like quoting everyone I know here because I recently heard a podcast from one of my favorite people, Alexi Panos, who talked about the importance of honoring the work that has led you to where you are and what you're doing. So Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, A New Earth, I think, is where he actually talks about the flowers as a beautiful picture of human consciousness and where it's heading, and how if you just look at a flower, it just blooms, it just is, it teaches humanity presence and the beauty of just literally just like hanging and being. So that's my reading. I'm just going to pull one of my beautiful Kuan Yin cards and one of my Divine Feminine cards to finish. So thank you to everyone who kind of like loved me and supported me and encouraged me to keep going with my readings. It really means a lot. So this card says, drink from the Emerald Fountain. The Divine Feminine encourages your awakening and your empowerment. Your sincerity is evoking Kuan Yin, who is the goddess of compassion. It makes sense that you are open to receive her help and intervention. To step forward and drink from the Emerald Fountain, which is the unconditionally loving heart chakra of Kuan Yin. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother flowing to you now. So as we go into Christmas, I encourage you to let go of anything you would like to let go of, and to kind of fill up your well. And I'll just pull one of my beautiful Divine Feminine cards now to finish the reading. And let's see, okay. Sara Devi, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. And I think this is a really powerful way to finish. And, you know, loving yourself without judgment and without condition is the key to why you came here in the first place and what you came here to create. So, release the ego. Love yourself without judgment. And if this has been, you know, a hard year, a triggering time, just remember that this is coming, and that there's nothing to fear in your awakening. And I hope that you have a really beautiful Christmas. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, wherever you're with, whoever you're with, remember that vulnerability will open the gates to releasing the fear, the ego, and the shame, and stepping into love for ourselves and for each other. So you need to cry. No judgment. Much love, and see you soon.